WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com. They came from the game table, dice bags in hand,
We have one brain that we share between us.
to talk about role-playing for all across the land.
And you'll like it.
The original, then basic, then 1E they scoured.
Kinda grabs you by the boo-boo, don't it?
To bring AD&D to the second power.
You want me to put the hammer down?
Welcome to THACO's Hammer, the best damn AD&D 2nd edition podcast ever.
I did a harder one last time. I took the village of Hamlet and converted it to Tunnels and Trolls. That was hard. Trying to figure out the monster ratings and everything.
Oh yeah.
But hey, it worked. Hi, folks. THACO's Hammer, Splatbook 121. We're back. New year, new old people. I'm DM Glen with DM Brian.
Hey folks, what's going on out there?
And of course, DM Full-On Gamer.
Greetings, Gamer Nation. How are y'all doing this fine new year?
Coming from the prestigious Bangkok Auditorium, it's Full-On Gamer.
But yeah, so
with Les Brown and his band of renown. Yeah, okay.
it's a new year.
It's early and I'm silly.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't have Corey until we got to change our recording times to get Corey back, but we can do that.
Yeah.
Later. But in the meantime, let's go into hits and crits.
Well, one thought he was invincible, the other thought he could fly. So? They were both wrong.
Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick.
You're hit. You're bleeding, man.
I ain't got time to bleed.
We're sending somebody in to negotiate. Anybody else want to negotiate?
Hits and crits.
Hits and crits. How's things, Full-On?
Well, we get to change our recording time because I get to change shifts again. Because of rearranging personnel, I get to be back on day shift. So I go back to work tomorrow morning, which is tonight for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I have this feeling that if you ever see any action over there, you're going to be going into it screaming, Tor, Tor, Tor!
And they won't know. Well, actually, the funny part is that someone on the other side would probably know what he's talking about, or maybe not.
Who knows?
Who knows?
He's defending our... He's doing good.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he's defending our right to be silly.
Yes, he's doing good, and we thank him for that.
Yes, indeed.
Somebody sent him a dinner. Somebody sent him a dinner or something. Care package with more D&D stuff. Hey.
There you go.
And what about you, Brian? What's up?
Not much. Just the same old thing here. Had a 3-day weekend because of New Year's Eve and whatnot. But
of course.
Yeah, I spent it pretty much relaxing and taking care of my son and all that fun stuff. And working a little bit here and there on splat books. I'm trying to keep it to where every time we record a splat book, I put one out. So I think splat book 117 is coming out. It's either 116 or 117. But yeah, I'm trying to basically keep it that way so that people are like, where's the splat book, man? Because yeah, there was a spot where I couldn't get to it for about three or 4 weeks, and yeah, people were starting to clamor for it. So I'm trying to stay on top of it this time.
Good. So one in, one out, kind of like my digestive system.
Exactly, one in,
yeah.
one out. Jeez. Yeah. But yeah, so what you been up to, Glenn?
That's the story of life right there. One in, one out.
Yep.
Okay, well, we canceled Saturday yet again last Saturday. It's like, well, we're getting our old space back next week, so this will happen.
Okay.
Monday I'm taking over for a little while, running some C&C for the group, and I've got into a really nice Tuesday BX game.
Wow.
I mean, really nice. This guy's, and he said it was an open table too. You can come and go as you please, which is good considering certain people's schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's about 4 of us plus the DM, and it's a lot of fun. It's laid back. We started in a pit. We got out of the pit. That's a story in itself. We were stuck in this pit for 5 years because of the despotic ruler who would throw somebody in a pit and forget about them if they did anything wrong.
Right.
And so I had a real big desire to kill this guy.
Right.
I was a fighter, and I come out when we got out of the pit. He died like last year. So, and I said, "What's your story?" He says, "Well, I was a gladiator, and I was working the lions one day, and he was there, and he decided that I killed his favorite lion, so he threw me in the pit. And I was just doing my job."
Right.
And so basically, I'm playing Kirk Douglas in Spartacus.
Spartacus, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We got rescued by these 2 guys because nobody remembered anybody was in the pit after this guy died. They just went on.
Right.
And so these 2 guys pulled us out of the pit and said, "We got a proposition for you. This one land is ruled by this witch queen, and her sister's ruling the other land who wants to take over her land, and she's hiring goblins and stuff, and we can make some money by being mercenaries and fighting one side or the other, or killing goblins for bounty and blah 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 blah." And he said, "Sure, just get us out of this damn pit."
Get me out of here.
Yeah, and these 2 guys we found out we have one. I'm of average intelligence. We have one dumb fighter. These guys are dumber than him.
Wow.
First of all, no equipment. Because they figure, these guys will be red shirts and we'll get all the money and stuff. Secondly, they make us travel at night. Well, we'll get there faster. It's just, well, yeah, but there's also nasty things that could kill you out there faster.
Right.
And so, no. And so we're traveling at night, like over this graveyard. Or what we found out was a graveyard. And they'll do stuff like, I wake up, I'm on my shift, I wake people up because I see these tendrils of smoke coming out from the ground and stuff, and a wraith is forming. And these 2 guys have been about all night arguing about what they should do next. Arguing. And they don't see him. And I said, "Guys, so we pull out, we go about a half mile away."
Yeah.
And we come back and they're dead. And they're horses. It is like...
And you have, 4 more raids.
No. This was daylight, and it's like, okay, grab what we can, beat feet out of here. And it's like I'd never seen NPCs who were stupider than the player characters. It was hilarious because it's like it's kind of like, remember the movie Dumb and Dumber? Remember the 2 hitmen that went after them?
Yeah.
And they were kind of a little stupider than them. That's the way it was.
Right.
And it was funny. So we're now in a town and we're doing stuff. We're trying to bounty goblin, blah blah blah. And that was it. That's what I remember from it. And it was a good time. It was a good time.
Nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah. Emails.
Yeah, we've definitely got some emails.
Oh yeah. What do we got?
Okay.
I'm dying to dive in.
Okay, got one from DM Freddy.
Hey,
Excuse me. Okay, short and to the point. Damage types like fire, cold, silver, weapons, lightning, etc. have either listings for half or full. How do you guys interpret this? Do you divide any damage done in half after the damage has been rolled? Or do you assign maximum damage and just allow normal rolling for full? Okay.
Okay, let me jump back out of the email pool. No.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, all right. Basically, if it's a spell that is you have to roll for half damage, it's basically simple. Just roll the damage. Say it's a 7 hit dice lightning bolt or something, and you just roll your 7 hit dice. Everybody makes their saves, or tries to make their saves. Those who make it take full. Those who don't, those who make it take half. When it comes to like other planar beings, like your Tannerai and your Batezu and those kind of things, where they have built-in immunities, where they could take, like, say, half damage from fire right from the jump.
Right.
That basically goes down one more step. It's basically they take half right off the top, and if they make their save, they save for a quarter. So
That makes sense.
So that's pretty much how I run it. Anybody else?
That sounds
It all
good.
depends. It all depends on the type it is. Either it's something where some of it is going to be they take half damage and they save for none. Some of it is going to be they start off at the jump half damage, and if they fail their save, that's what they get. If they make a save, they get a quarter or they get none. Depends. If it's damaged from a spell going out, or a weapon type, that's being hit, or it's like skeletons, half damage from slashing weapons, full damage from blunt. That's the point. Or zombies, other way around.
Yep.
So that's all you got to do is it's half. If you're asking whether or not to round up or round down, it's math. If you hit a half point, it's a half point.
Yep.
You make it the next one up or the next one down. You could probably fudge it at that point, but I don't do max damage cut in half. No, that's just that's violating the D-bad rule.
Yep, pretty much. I mean, unless there are, of course, mitigating circumstances that would have you take full damage from something. But those circumstances are few and far between, at least in my experience.
Yeah, very rarely you see a thing that says takes maximum damage or double damage from this, that, or the other. It's like, okay, well, if I hit you with that, I don't have to roll damage. I just give you max, or whatever I roll, I double, and you take more.
Exactly. Excuse me. Glenn?
He makes his save. The DM thinks of a number, and that's the damage.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty much with Brian. You take half, and then if it's a demon, make your save. Saves quarter. Just keep it simple.
Yep. Just keep it simple, and just don't overthink it. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay.
Thank you, Freddie.
Yep. Thanks, Fred.
Well, now here's the thing: if you have someone who's immune to a type of damage, and you're just riddling them full of bullets, or full of rounds and arrows and slashes, how do you handle that? Do you describe it as the weapons pass through them harmlessly? Do you describe it as every single cut and strike instantly heals as the weapon is removed?
Yes.
Or do you have it as the weapons bounce off of the immunity, or some combination thereof, depending on who you're describing?
That's where the DM earns his money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's the DM to describe, and make it a good one, folks.
Yeah, I side on the fact. I mean, say if you're attacking a werewolf with normal weapons, yeah, you cut him open, but it's not. As soon as you cut him open, he heals up instantly, rather than just having the weapon just bounce off him. That's how I used to run it way back in the day. But yeah, I go for a little more dramatic license these days in those situations.
Yeah, ever since I started playing Tunnels and Trolls, I've been more into tell them what happened. Tell them what happened.
Yep. Yeah, that way it gives a little bit more drama and atmosphere to what's going on, rather than just saying, well, you tried to hit him but you couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, nanny boo boo. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Freddie. So what else we got?
Alrighty then, we got one from Chantel.
Chantel.
Yes.
I better write this one down.
Okay.
No, the name Chantel. I won't remember.
Yeah. Okay. Says, hi guys. I was just listening to show 67, and the splat book you do in that show is about NPC classes, but I did not catch the name of the book, and maybe would want to play a seer. Okay, that's Sages and Specialists.
Yeah, Sears and Robux.
Yeah, that's Sages and Specialists, Dark Blue Splat book. If you give me a moment, I could probably even give you the stock number for it.
Oh, aren't you accommodating?
No, I actually had the folder open, so might as well, if only to be complete.
Yeah, that's the one I had. That's the one I had a problem with. I remember that.
Yeah. You're not huge on.
I'm not a fan.
You're not huge on giving character classes to NPCs. even though 3rd edition was riddled with them. 3rd, 3.5, yeah.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
I thought all the kits were like all for PCs.
Oh no.
Then again, I hadn't been reading Dragon either. So
that's all. Those are all NPCs: engineers, blacksmiths, sages, fences.
Not in my game.
Well, whatever floats your boat, Glenn. It's all good.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. So
it's all sexy. It's all good.
yeah, exactly. There we go. And that is Sage and Specialist, stock number TSR 2164.
There you go.
Here we go.
Thank you, Chantel.
All right.
See, I wrote it down here.
Yep, there you go. Look at you. You're improving. I'm proud
Look
of you.
at me. Okay, what else we got? One more.
We've got one from DM John.
How you spell John?
Come on now, it's not that early.
Damn if it ain't. Well, the sun's up. Okay, you're right. Go ahead.
Sun's over the horizon. It's not that early. Okay, he says, "Hey guys, I was just catching up on the show during a road trip when I heard you guys reminiscing about the fact that there was no rule for cleaving low-level nukes in episode 108. There is an optional rule in the DMG under multiple attacks initiative in an unlabeled gray box that allows fighters, paladins, and rangers to make a number of attacks equal to their level when fighting creatures in one minus one hit die or less. There's no player requirement to use this ability." Yeah, that's the old 1E.
Where is this again?
Old Dungeon Master's Guide: How to Rip Apart Crowds of Hundreds of Zero-Level People and Kobolds.
Oh, the first printing?
Yeah.
Oh, which I just happen to have right here.
Well, how about that?
How about that?
Let's see. Yeah, that's taken straight from the first edition DMG. The thing that I found curious is that in oh god, what is it called? Oh, high level campaigning, which is that Black Splat book. They actually took that and they actually made it a sort of quote unquote master class or prestige skill that once you reach 10th level, now you can cleave one hit die creatures. I think if you go up to like 15th level, it's like 2 hit dice and stuff like that. So you could see like a really high level fighter going through like a group of like gnolls and just cutting them up. Although it probably wouldn't kill them, or maybe it would.
Yeah.
Gnolls are 1-1.
I know. No, it's basically saying when you reach 10th level, instead of it being 1-1 or less, now it's 1 hit die or less. So you can go through orcs, goblins, kobolds, of course.
Yeah, the game becomes Savage Worlds at that point.
Yeah, but hey, when it's high level stuff like that, sure, why not?
But that's okay. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too. So. Yeah, for sure. It takes that ability, which is because 9 times out of 10, unless you're like running Dragon Mountain and you remember that rule, which actually would sort of even the playing field a touch, that skill pretty much becomes kind of useless because when you're running at the higher level you get, the less likely it is you're going to be running up against 0-level fighters or zero or like half hit die kobolds and so forth and so on. But
this is true.
So I think it gives not so much utility that a player can pretty much kill the DM's plans or whatever, but it still gives that martial arts flick where you're basically going up against 30 guys and you're basically taking them all out in like 6 combat rounds. But yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm agreeing.
Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon. Those were all like first level characters going up against him, and he's like a really high level martial artist, and he's just basically wrecking them. But yeah, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah, was it? Vince calls that the Death Congo.
I like
that. Die. They're standing in line waiting for him to hit him.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah. I particularly like that. It's a nice little rule, and it gets expanded out.
Oh yeah. Thank you, John. Thank you very much for that. And you guys can help us along with the show by sending your emails to THACOshammer@gmail.com. I think we're still there, aren't we?
We're still there. And we have a phone number, of course. And that be 405-806-0555.
Call now, and all those other places that Fawn likes to mention.
Yep.
D20radio.com.
Yep. Facebook, Twitter, Dragon's Foot, the Piazza. We're all over the place.
Yeah, D20radio.com. Yeah, we're like I said before, manure. So let us move on to people skills.
Wish we have time to bear them, fellas.
Hell with them fellas. Buzzards gotta eat, same as worm.
How can you shoot women, children? Easy. You just don't lead them so much. Ain't war hell?
Where shall I find a new adversary so close to my own level?
Try the local sewer.
People skills.
People skills. Yeah, it's too early. The Lore Master Kit from the Complete Bard's Handbook.
Correct. Okay, this is basically it says what it is.
The Complete Bard's Handbook, the book that teaches you how to shoot a giant arrow into a big red dragon. No, not that.
No,
part.
not that
Okay.
one. No.
Anyway,
let's see. Okay, in the description, it basically says the lore master. There basically says there's a fine line between lore master and sage. So fine that lore masters call themselves sages and are rarely questioned about it. Now, true sages are knowledge specialists who concentrate efforts into mastering a specific field, such as mushrooms, elven swords, and so on.
I have a theory about that. If the guy smells like herbs, he's a sage.
But anyway, but I'm not going to continue that. I could say something about time, but I won't. Lore masters are fond of any aspect of history that make a good story. So, lore masters basically are travelers who wander the lands searching for great historical tales and facts to relate to crowds. In order to gain substance to the tales, they often take up adventuring. Unlike many other adventurers, lore masters are not simply seeking gold or magic, rather they are looking for a new legend or tale. Lore masters are the first to open old tomes, read the runes on passage walls, and record general events of an adventure. So, this guy is the chronicler.
Right.
He's sort of like that guy in sort of the guy in 300. That's the way I look at it, because he's the guy who told the story of 300 when he got sent back after he lost his eye in combat. Remember?
Right.
So.
Right.
I would say he's more the guy. He's the guy in Beowulf.
Okay. But I'm just saying. Just the guy who's relating a tale, a legend of what happened, and he's doing it for not only to motivate his troops, because it ends up that he uses his bard skill of rally allies and so forth, while he's telling that story.
Or the guy in Dragonheart.
Yes, there's another one.
The monk that follows the guy around to promote his legend and stuff.
Yeah, that works.
That is a lore master.
Yeah, that works.
The other guy was a Spartan and would beat you with his shield if you said he was a bard of any kind.
Well, those kind of guys may be former warriors. I mean, you ever see these guys from the World War II? Yeah, I was in the war. There I was in the trenches, and I had some stupid Nazi coming down, and I thrust those kind of guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But, basically in the description it says lore masters are romantically entranced by the past. They love to relate the lessons of history to those who will listen, and they're often viewed as being more reclusive and eccentric than wizards, preoccupied with old tomes, ancient languages, lost civilizations, that kind of thing, when they're not putting on an oratory,
So it's Indiana Jones and his father.
Yes. Yeah, his father would be a lore master for sure.
The romance with the past. It's like if those guys in modern times you just want to punch. My spirit is actually a silver. I had a guy tell me that one time.
Oh boy.
I'm not really human. I'm a silver dragon.
Well, I had somebody.
I thought that it's like I wanted to punch the guy. I really
No,
did.
I knew someone on America Online who tried to convince me that he was from Toril, and basically he gave Ed Greenwood permission to produce Forgotten Realms. I'm like, you are absolutely out of your damn mind.
Yeah. It's just like punching's too good for him. You just want to sit there and go, you are ruining it for every nerd out there. Stop it.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Weapon proficiencies, due to their great interest in the knowledge and concentration on the past, they only bother to learn the lightest and simplest of weapons. It's more the sort of like a modified wizard's selection: blowgun, dart, dagger, hand crossbow, knife, quarterstaff, sling, and staff sling. That's it.
And the ever popular whip. If you're going to do Indy and his father, you got to have the whip.
Apparently so. Let's see. They gain ancient history, ancient languages, navigation, reading, and writing as bonus proficiencies, which is, pretty much in line. Let's see. They're only able to use leather armor. Where bards can use any, general bards can use any armor, but the lore masters only use leather. Let's see. They do have the legend lore ability as true bards, except for the exception. All the optional rules for the true bard's legend lore ability are required for the lore master. Let's see. Arcane lore. Through their devoted study of the past, lore masters come across numerous texts on the arcane lore of magic. They read all of these, hoping that some great tale will be uncovered. Lore masters have
and not lose sanity.
yeah, or get turned into a newt or something.
Yeah.
Guess what? I memorized explosive runes this morning. Boom!
Exactly.
Ain't that neat?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Gain a fundamental understanding of many strange magical items not normally usable by the Bard class, so they can attempt to use any magical item. Any. A wisdom check is rolled. If it's successful, then the lore master uses the magic item in question. That doesn't mean they fully understand the operation of the item, only that his attempt to use it in the particular way is successful. So, yeah, they could use pretty much... Oh god, can you imagine a lore master with a staff of the Magi?
Wow.
Hey y'all, watch this.
It breaks in half real easy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just snap it over your knee like this, kaboom. Let's see, they also pour over scrolls and spell books whenever they get a chance. This enhances their understanding of magical spells so much that they memorize and cast spells as they were one level higher, which is interesting. Interesting. So they get their spells, like I said, they get one level higher on the chart where they able to memorize spells. Also,
that is not what that says.
Okay.
It says they memorize spells as one level higher.
Correct.
That doesn't say that they memorize spells as a that can be read two ways. The way I would read that is you read a spell and it has level-based effects. You are a third-level lore master. You cast this as a fourth-level mage.
Correct. Okay.
Not I get to get the fourth-level mage list of available spells or whatever. So the spell chart is not progressed a level higher. My spell effect is one level more effective.
So your magic...
it can be interpreted one or two ways. Personally, I just give them the higher level in
memorization. So his magic missile is a little more effective.
A little more potent, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's see. Persuasion. Let's see. Usually lore masters recite their collections of historical fables and legends to a crowd simply to entertain and educate. Although these oral performances are wonderful to hear, they do not necessarily have any direct impact on the crowd. When a lore master wishes to affect the mood or actions of an audience, which is a bard's skill, he uses his great skills of verbal persuasion, oratory, and rhetoric. So basically
these are the kind of guys that like low to mid-level politicians, like say mayors of the town, would have around to exalt especially during like if they do elections.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they get these guys as like their press corps or their
speech writers.
Speech writers, publicity agents. You know,
Mm-hmm.
go tell of the great deeds I've done as mayor.
Right. Let's see. Using this persuasion takes 1 to 10 rounds. All that listen and can listen to and understand the lore master must make a saving roll versus paralyzation with a -1 penalty per 3 levels of the lore master. Those who fail have their reactions adjusted 1 level up or down as desired by the lore master. If they roll a natural 20 on the save, they strongly disagree and have their reactions adjusted 1 level in the opposite direction. Let's see. Then the last one is etymology. They can make their read languages.
Why do they fool with bugs?
No.
Oh.
No, not wrongology. Let's see. They can make their read languages attempt twice if the language in question is an ancient one. They could use their read languages to decipher runes, glyphs, pictograms, ideograms, and any form of ancient visual communication. That's interesting.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Oh, jeez.
I just read it.
I would have fun with that and let them, if they're, you don't necessarily know if you made it or you didn't until you start interpreting what you've been given. So you can let them roll that ancient language and you give them something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was the
and then context and consequences clue them that I may have read that wrong. Let me try.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, that's
the files
it's not
in the computer.
Jeez. No, that's the second.
It's not Castle R.
Yeah, no. That's the second paragraph. Even though a lore master cannot be proficient in a newly encountered ancient language, if he makes his ancient languages check, he understands the basics of the language. Elementary use of the language is gained, allowing for written or even spoken communication at 1/10 the normal rate. So that to me means that, yeah, after just reading an ancient language, he understands just the very basic level of it. So
what does it say? I know these guys are perverts.
If we put the horn in his head, it resurrects the god Dagon. That's cool. Oh, and then he destroys the world. That's bad. Guys, maybe our quest is wrong.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, imagine if there was a lore master. Conan.
The word is asp, not ass. Yeah.
But yeah, so the qualifications, you need to have an intelligence and wisdom of 14 or more. In addition to the bard requirements, which is what charisma 15 and a dex of 12, I think. So yeah, I like this because it's one of those. Although if you have one of those guys, in your gaming group, it can really be annoying.
Especially if the character or the player has a big ego.
Yeah, oh God, yeah. And likes to talk and talks to hear himself. Yeah, for sure.
It'd be funny if you ran.
I have no experience with persons of such strife.
It'd be funny to run Barrier Peaks with the Lore Master in the party.
Oh, wow.
He runs into that sci-fi stuff like a laser gun.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and he starts looking through his books. Oh yes, it was here 10,000 years ago. Oh, shut up. Try to justify everything.
It's from a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. It's lore.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember seeing a picture. No, you don't. You just, yeah.
Oh yeah. You want to talk about Brainy Smurf?
There are legends. There are tales. My abuela, she told me they always come in the hottest months.
Yes, but turn the coin over, it says.
Yeah. So in an adventuring party, yeah, it could be really good because it gives the party information, and information is power. Or it can be really bad, to where everybody wants to kick the guy's butt because he talks too damn much.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's free, unlike the GM NPC.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Did anybody ever see the movie Fierce Creatures?
No, I never have.
Michael Palin plays Bugsy, an entomologist who will not shut up.
Lore Master, right there.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah. I'm not. Why am I not surprised by that?
Yep.
So, but
Anyway.
yeah. Okay. But yeah, like I said, it's more information based. It's sort of combining a wizard with the bard, but it's still more information based as far as the kit goes. So yeah, it could, like I said, it could be good in some circumstances, bad in others.
Right. Sounds like a fun kit.
Not bad.
And it's in the Complete Bard's Handbook.
Correct.
That is a Complete Bard's Handbook. You got any experience with Lore Master? Give us a shout out. THACOshammer@gmail.com. Onward to Rule 0.
Am I the only one around here who gives a about the rules?
Hey, rules are, there ain't no rules.
Hey! Ladies! That was fun!
Thank you for a very enjoyable day.
Rule 0.
Rule 0, DM Tech 3. Part 3.
Yeah, this has gotten spread out over several episodes, but yeah.
Handling the loss of important relics or family heirlooms. By the way, I noticed this episode is called Creating the Legend. Unfortunately, they broke the mold with me. So, relics, family heirlooms. Oh, yeah, this is your father's lightsaber.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, and the loss of it.
Yes, and the loss of it.
Here lies the shards of Narsil, who cut the ring from Sauron's hand.
Correct.
Yes.
And so on and so forth. I mean, it's one of these where the DM can have a lot of fun with this particular situation because, as we talked about in Splatbook 119, talking about hand-me-downs and that kind of stuff, and my father's +1 sword and all that stuff. What happens to the player when he loses it? I mean, it's not Luke Skywalker when he lost his hand at Bespin, and he lost his lightsaber along with it.
Or the DM playing the character. I'm going to need that guy's arm.
Yeah, exactly. Because how you
need the Fentuzler of Sauron. You go get it and says, "No, I just needed to make a drink. Here's your cure." That kind of thing.
It's more of at least to me it's more of a sort of like an esoteric thing pertaining to just the character, but I could see just the consequences of a character who has has a weapon that's been in the family for 6 generations and blah blah blah, and now it's your turn. You are a warrior of our family. Go out and conduct yourself with honor. Blah blah blah. And
this sword was handed down for generations. Don't break it.
And then of course this first encounter with a rust monster destroys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
this is the weapon of the Jedi Knight. Your father wanted you to have this when you were old enough. Oh yes. Oh, just cut off my arms and legs and left me to burn in a lake of fire. By the way, make sure my kid gets that.
It's just a flesh wound.
It's your father's lightsaber. He killed 30 children with it. Here you go.
Oh, gee. I never thought about that. Oh my God, jeez. But yeah. But at the same time, as a DM, it's one of those where there has to be consequences. I mean, one of the things in one of my campaigns that I ran, one of my players had a martial artist character who had a sword who his father did give to him, and one of the first things that my player came to me and asked for is like, can we find a magical version of this? Because I don't want to lose this sword. I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's sort of like a little character thing, a little role play thing, but.
And then there's the intelligence swords you hand down from father to son.
I tell you what, your daddy would have handled this so much different. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was also thinking of like, say, a magical sword or shield or some other weapon that was handed down from father to son for generations, and the spirits of all of them are in the sword.
Yeah, you could do that.
The weapon. Oh my gosh. That character would not have a will at all.
No, I could just imagine it.
Make it worse.
Okay.
Make it mom.
No, I was thinking
Make it mom.
make it mom, make it, Aunt Ethel. Grandma. Yeah, I mean, just
the dog. I don't know,
yeah, crazy Uncle Earl. Why not? Sure.
Yeah.
It would drive the character insane.
Have all of them in the sword arguing whether or not he should go kill that orc or not.
Well, let's take that one step further. Say this sword has been handed down through, let's say 7 generations, 8 generations, and the thing is that it's a sword it's an adventurer's sword, but when you die on adventure, your soul gets absorbed into the sword, and you become part of the sword for it.
Well, that would of course be the consequences.
Yes, constantly having different voices in your head. I mean,
I'd make it a hand axe that sent out for narrations, and you run it. You go into his town, you find this famous warrior. He retired and became a butcher, and he uses it. Oh yeah, we had it down from my generation to generation. They just shut up. I could cut you some pork chops.
That would be a funny way to deal with it. Yeah, it's like this beautifully crafted axe, and he's basically chopping meat with it.
Yeah, he's using it as,
That's pretty funny. I like that. But I mean, let's see. I mean, as far as, losing it, it all depends on how it's lost. I mean, if the player's so stupid as to it has a sword that's been around for hundreds of years, and you go up against a freaking rust monster with it, yeah, you deserve what happens to you afterwards. But I mean,
be careful if you get into a fist fight with the disenchanter while you're wearing your gloves of ogre power, or the hand of Vecna.
No, hand of Vecna would probably counteract that. But
you said lost relics.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, well, artifacts. Artifacts are, we both know artifacts are a special case because they're only.
Or losing the artifact that the village gave you to stop the whatever horror is coming to the village.
Yeah, and then you have to go on a catch as catch can minor quest just to get it back.
Or go on without it.
Yeah, or go on without it.
And then make do.
Mm-hmm.
Just hope they don't ask for it back.
Of course they do.
And that's really the OP of the question is, okay, something, whatever importance it had to the character or the quest or the story or the arc, is lost, destroyed. What do you do? Well, if it's only lost, obviously, the quest is go find it.
Yeah, exactly.
Be stolen. Could be dropped. Whatever. If it's destroyed, okay, it is time to... What was the legend? Go ask the lore master. How did they make it the first time? And then we go do that, and we do it better.
Yeah, or if you're trying to do it on the cheap, just try to make a really, really good facsimile, a reasonable facsimile, if you will. And then all of a sudden, now you're trying to convince, whoever that gave you this sword or item or whatever it is that, yes, this is what it is, but, during your travails, somehow it, something happened and it's not working quite as good as it used to. I don't know what happened. Then there's...
You had a really good time getting the quest to have the Holy Avenger. He's now got his intelligence +5, Holy Avenger +9 against undead, and it's currently staking the 18th level wizard vampire to the ground. Don't pull it out.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah, this is true. There's a joke to be made there, but I'm not going to make it. So, I mean, and there just has to be some sort of role-playing consequences or a reaction adjustment if you want to use a game mechanic or something along those lines to say, hey, you had this was your responsibility, you botched it, deal with the consequences. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And this can apply if you're dealing with, especially if you've got some of the different rules that go into play. If you're using progressive magic item, heirloom items, like, okay, you started adventuring and it was a plain sword or a masterwork sword, and then it became a +1 sword in your hands as you unlock its capabilities, and then so on and so forth. It became a Frostbrand or whatever. As you evolve as an adventurer, your weapon evolves with you. This is your heirloom item that's been passed down, and one day you'll pass it down to your offspring, and they'll have to unlock the secrets as well to earn its respect or something.
Right. And I mean, that's sort of like how Moonblades work. It's like every person that uses or that gets that sword and uses it, not only are they able to use the abilities that were from previous owners, but they also, at some point along the line, they actually get to unlock another ability pertaining to that person. And it goes on and on and on. That's why the elves guard those things with their lives. Because they're fantastic swords.
If you remember, that's what Gary liked to do in the 1E DMG. One of the more fascinating tinkery bits back there was those artifacts that have, like, okay, it has this power at a certain level, this power gets unlocked at its character certain level, and then it had like blanks there to say, okay, put powers there and they unlock when. And you could tinker to your heart's content with those things.
Exactly. Yep. And and that's one of the things that up until I saw something in an adventure, I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of the ones in the last run of second edition. It was like in the late 90s, but it was one that actually did scale up with the character's level. And excuse me. And there needed to be more magic items like that, at least to me.
Yeah. That's story stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
That's character stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Instead of it just being a +1 sword or a +3 Frostbrand or this or that, it's just something that, that grows along with the character. It's fun.
And losing that, okay, here's a sword. It was handed down from father to son for generations. You take it, go kill that big archdemon that's been terrorizing our family and area for a long time. But Dad, I stuck it in his heart and it exploded and we don't have it anymore. That's all right. That's what it was there for.
Yeah, did it kill him? Good. Then
don't worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that sword has been my father had it, my uncle had it, I had it, my brother had it, and we all tried to, break kill this demon lord who's been terrorizing us. And I'm the only one out of my generation and my father's who are still alive, but I'm crippled because the demon lord had decided to have fun with me instead. So here, son, it's your turn. Don't mess it up.
You wear the Jabberwock, my son. Go by.
Exactly.
That's basically what it is. And if it breaks, it breaks. If it breaks in the duty, it's fine. Other than that, you're going to hear from me. Anyway, tell us about how you deal with this kind of stuff at THACOshammer@gmail.com. And now, Magic Fingers.
The White Wizard approaches.
There's no such thing as magic.
You always were the better magician. You both know that. But whatever your secret was, you have to agree. Mine is better.
Magic Fingers.
Magic Fingers. And my next guest, that's the way I feel with this microphone, and my next guest is...
St. Louis, you're on the air. Hello.
Yeah, very much. You're talking with Larry King. Anyway, second level spell, Lehman's Trap. Yes, it's a range of touch. Got material components in it. But it is a piece of iron pyrite touched to the object to be trapped while the object is sprinkled with a special kind of dust requiring 200 gold piece to prepare. So it ain't cheap.
It's not cheap.
It's permanent. Wow. Takes 3 rounds to cast. And area effect is object touched, of course. What does it do?
Okay. It says, this false trap is designed to fool a thief or other character attempting to pilfer the spellcaster's goods. The wizard places the spell on any small mechanism or device, such as a lock, hinge, clasp, screw-on cap, ratchet, etc. Any character able to detect traps or who uses a spell or device enabling trap detection is 100% certain a real trap exists. Of course, the spell is illusory, and nothing happens if the trap is sprung. Its primary purpose is to frighten away thieves or to make them waste precious time. So, it's basically an illusion spell, and it's sort of false security. You know.
Yeah, it's one of those out-of-combat character spells that you only worry about if your PCs happen to be dealing with it.
Yeah,
it's sticking an ADT sign on your yard from the house next door.
Yeah,
Don't
there you go.
even try it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's, and, I would have thought, just reading the spell before we started the show, I would have thought this would have had just a little bit more teeth, but then again, it is a second level spell.
It's a defensive spell.
Yeah, it's, like I said, it's supposed to just make the thief waste time.
I'm surprised they didn't give it to clerics or priests.
But they detect them. They don't set them. It goes against their ethos, apparently. Apparently. But, it's one of those spells that's, like I said, it's just to, give us false sense of security. Like Full-On said, it's like putting in, an ADT sticker on your house or something. Or putting, like, this car is protected by Smith & Wesson on your car, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's not a lie.
In some cases, it's not. But I do know some people who've done it, and they don't have.
This house is protected by William Conrad.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say something, but never mind. So yeah, like it's just a just a little spell. I didn't. I thought, like I said, I thought it had more teeth than that, but apparently not. My bad.
It's all right. It's still useful.
Yeah, it is.
Not exactly something you would take in your first, lineup of spells with your first character.
Probably not.
They get to third level for second level spells. Yeah. So I hit third level. That's not the first one that comes to my mind.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's stuff. Stinking Cloud comes to mind for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like it's one of those round out the character type spells.
Yeah, he would do this because he's concerned about security.
I just became 10th level. I should take this and use this on my tower or something.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. We could move on to another Liaman spell, since we only spent like 10 minutes on it.
I was thinking about the applications for this. Like, how could the DM use this?
Well, it's
putting it on something mundane just to mess with them.
It's really more of a DM spell than a player spell. I mean, no player worth their salt is going to put a fake trap, magical or otherwise, on a thing when they can put a real one and actually kill people.
That's true.
Depends on how bloodthirsty they are.
Or paranoid, for that matter.
If they're in this circle of people who are dealing with, magical traps and having to, I've got to protect my stuff from the other folks because they're always getting into my stuff, so I'm going to put magical traps on it. Usually at that point they just put explosive runes on things.
And call it a day, that's true.
or the actual, like fire trap for real on a thing.
That's true.
So that when the Kinder sticks his hand in your pouch, it goes boom.
Yep, and fire trap is rather
nasty. Instead, the Kinder say, "Ooh, he's got something protecting the pouch. Now I have to open it."
Yeah. Yeah, when you're dealing with a kleptomaniac, Kinder.
Yeah, it's a deterrent. Like, what is it, Sepia Snake Sigil?
Sepia
yes,
Snake
that's a great one.
That's
okay. That's awesome.
I forget what it does. But
I'm looking it up.
It makes you immune to damage. It's actually, I've used Sepia Snake Sigil as a how to progress a campaign into another era, or to survive a total party kill. I've voluntarily submitted myself to my own Sepia Snake Sigil.
What?
You become immune to damage. you get frozen like in amber.
Yeah, it's stasis.
The world can burn around you, and you can be dug up and dispel magic and reanimated later.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You become Austin Powers, basically.
Yeah, baby.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Behave.
Yeah, that.
But essentially, it's a trap that just you walk in and you find a statue next to the safe, and you say, okay, I can choose to kill you, I can send you off for prosecution, or I can make you disappear, or I can put you on an adventure because you're obviously a thief of some skill, but you need to work for me, or I'm going to make you suffer consequences.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking Lehman's Trap might be work also in conjunction with other spells.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, to me, or at the very least,
Isn't it one of the ones you get for free with, like, when you cast guards and wards on an area, you get a certain allocation of Lehman's Traps that you can just say, bing, 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 here you go.
One moment, I'm looking it up.
There you go. Put like 3 or 4 of those up, even though they're kind of expensive. 3 or 4 of those up with a real trap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Which one is the real trap?
Let's see. Guards and wards. All doors get wizard locked. Quarters become misty. 10 feet visibility. The stairs are filled with webs from top to bottom as a web spell.
Great for Halloween.
Exactly. Let's see. It basically casts a minor confusion when you are in an intersection. Everything radiates magic. Let's see. 1 door per level is covered by illusion, making it look like a plain wall. You can choose one of the following effects: dancing lights, magic mouths, stinking cloud, gust of winds, or a suggestion. So yeah, guards and wards is pretty potent. I love this spell.
And I love casting it in B2.
Really? Really?
Wow.
You think?
When I'm preparing it for people.
Thank you for giving me that idea. I got to run that much.
God. Jeez. Yeah, that would make a low level party basically go prematurely gray.
That'd be the caves of real chaos.
Yeah, for sure. Jeez. No, you don't put it in B2, you put it in B1. It makes more sense.
That too.
Makes a lot more sense that way.
Put it in the moat house.
So yeah.
You don't think that Hallister wouldn't use
the caverns
that?
of Quasqueet? Of course, Hallister uses it.
I would think the Hallister would think it's like, oh, that's gauche. that's so minor league.
Yeah, but I don't have time to do all this. Boom, guards and wards. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
He cast the modified spell up 1 level called Creeping Guards and Wards. It just crawls. It's an area of effect that's set, but it crawls through the dungeon.
Oh, nice. You never know where it's going to affect.
Combine that with monster summoning spells. Yeah. Crazy old man, but yeah. So, anyway, shall we move on?
Yeah, we shall move on. All right, thank you, folks. And it's not emails. That would be Lehman's Trap. You guys got any suggestions? THACOshammer@gmail.com. 99% perspiration.
Brilliance. That's all I can say. Sheer, unadulterated brilliance.
I'm trying to think, but nothing happens.
I'm laughing at the superior intellect.
Okay, so how do you do that?
I do work, bitch.
99% perspiration.
99% perp. Tips for beginning DMs, Part 6, making the game yours. Well, you bought it, so of course it's yours.
Well,
I tend to slap bumper stickers on the covers.
We know. We've seen your car.
Yeah, there is that. No.
Signing the inside of the book to make sure that the things left behind know to get back to you. Oh, you're talking about the campaign.
Yes.
Yeah. I always put my name and email address in my books.
Well, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, I know.
Well, this is the last.
Putting your stamp on it, putting your, personal. This would be a Glen D&D game. as opposed to a Brian D&D
Yeah,
game.
exactly. We're
or a full-on.
Yeah,
game, but we don't go
yeah,
that
we
far.
may be in agreement most of the time, but yeah, the way we do things is pretty radically different. So yeah. I mean, just as far as it goes, I mean, if you've listened to past episodes where we've done this 6-part series, we go from the basics, the where, the why, the how, the what, and now you're at the point where, okay, I've got this campaign world, I want to use, or that I've been using, but I want to make my own, or you want to put your particular spin on a pre-made one.
A module.
Yeah, a module, a campaign setting, whatever. So it's one of those where
it's more of a what they used to call it? It's more of a craft than a skill. It's more a matter of tone.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit. It's not so concrete that we can explain it.
Right.
I mean, we can explain it enough for you to go do likewise. But it's more of a feeling, a tone. Certain things you do, certain it's the things you put in the world as far as magic items. It's the NPCs you portray. It's the the areas you put them in. Anyway, what's
if you're Tolkien running a game, the NPCs will talk a lot. If you are friggin' Mr. I can't write a book on time, you'll never show people the dragons, and you'll always have wangs out, and there'll be a lot of sex, and everyone you love will die.
Yeah.
If you're
there's a shot,
the wizard is going to be a little crazy, and he's going to get laid more than you are.
That's a Greenwood jump.
I think he was talking.
Okay.
Actually, if you were Tolkien running a D&D game, people wouldn't talk nearly as much, but you get a lot of description of scenery.
Oh God, would you ever?
It's more like
if you're running a Howard game, there's going to be lots of damsels and lots of blood.
Yep, and bordering into the Lovecraftian Eldritch horrors.
Exactly. Go.
Yes, then you can have that game.
Well, actually, all you have to do is look at campaigns. I mean, campaigns have tones too. You can take a cue. Sorry, folks. Yes, I'm getting over a cold. You can take a cue from them. Best example, Ravenloft. That's got tone to spare.
Yeah.
Dark Sun is another one.
As much as we may not like, certain parts, certain aspects of the setting, there's definitely a tone there,
Right, Spelljammer, you name it. I mean, in Forgotten Realms versus Greyhawk, you can really tell the difference.
Yeah,
and you can also make it as your own, as simple as doing a thing like this. If you're going to take a classic adventure and make it your own and put your own stamp on it, take like X3, Curse of Xanathon. It's all about this. One of the big side plot arcs is this conflict with the dwarves, and it's a human city. Well, stand that on its head. Make it, instead of the dwarves are the outcast race, the elves are the outcast race. Make it a dwarven city, and the humans are the outcast race. Then you get to recast everything and just turn it on its head.
Right, and it takes some thought. It takes some to creativity. It takes having that, being thunderstruck by an idea and being able to write that idea down before you forget it. That's what cell phones are for. Smartphones are for now. There are memo things on there. I use it all the time.
There's also things like monsters. Now, some people just take the monster manual and dump the whole thing in the campaign. Your campaign will be notable for what it doesn't have as what it does have.
Right.
You may call your orcs something else. You may not even have goblinoids at all. You may not have any demi-humans. Demons. What are those? We don't have demons around here. You die, you go up there, and they deal with it. Look at Mystara. There's no gods there called immortals, and they're not quite gods.
Yeah. Well, things
like.
I mean, it's more or less the replacement, but that's one of the things that using Mystara as the example. That's what I did to make that game mine. Is that I said, you know what? this is going to be second edition campaign. I don't like how they did a lot of things with the reboot, with second edition reboot of Mystara. So I'm going to take the Gazetteers and I'm going to make this game my own by doing this, and that. And it gives a particular flavor to the game that, this is all basic D&D stuff that I used to know, but now it's got this twist to it, and people who've run in my game have liked it, and
it's all these little things that you think of the way you want to run your world.
Yeah, it's like Bob Ross said, it's your world. You can make it whatever the hell you want to make it.
Let's make happy little treats.
Anyway, don't joke. Bob Ross is on Twitch now.
Yes.
May he rest in peace, but yeah, he's finally getting his just due.
But
does that mean that all Rastafarian treants are willows?
Oh,
probably. Here's the thing I did.
Yeah, I got that.
What?
I got that.
Here's something my group associates with me.
Go ahead.
I was running Castles and Crusades. They have a race called Steam Gnomes, which are just what you think they are. They're basically Tinker Gnomes with steampunk and all this other stuff. Well, the plot I used, which was the intro plot about them going down the sewers and finding out why the steam gnomes who run the sewers are not doing what they're supposed to, well, they found this cache of adamantium and all this other. Anyway, I started playing the gnomes. All of a sudden, they're Jewish. And now everybody thinks I play Jewish gnomes.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, look, we found this out here. I just started going, oh, look, we found this out here. We don't want to tell nobody. You ain't going to tell nobody, right? Okay, fine. Murray, he's not going to tell anybody. What are you talking to me for? Why you do that? You didn't even tell anybody. Why, you want to drop dead? Shut up. That kind of thing. And then they go, oh, yeah, we remember these guys. And all of a sudden I played now all my gnomes are Jewish for some reason.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's my tone. That's my style. That's you're right.
Right. I mean,
sometimes you sit down and write it out. Sometimes it happens on accident.
Yeah, there's the guy.
Remember my tale about the 2-day swamp?
Yep, I remember that.
So, what you should do, excuse me, what you should do, when you're first starting out, you should probably sit down with a pad of paper and look over your material and decide, yes, no, maybe. Yes, I want to include this. No, I don't want to include this. Maybe I'll include this if I twist it around a little.
Yeah.
Just
if a player twists my arm in the right way.
Yeah, or if you get a good idea how you want to play it other than the way they show it. Yeah, this is called using your head. You sit down and look at the list, and then your world you start seeing something in there. And don't be afraid to cross something out if you don't like it. And that's the way I would do it if I was like, say, even if I was starting. I mean, it works if you're starting your own campaign or something from scratch or buying a pre-built. There's no two Forgotten Realms are alike.
That's very true. It all comes down to the way the DM runs it. And I just had a thought and it just went right out of my head. That would be, and at least to me, it's creating certain things and putting certain flavors in there. That's what makes your game different than somebody else's. If you're in a big gaming group and everybody gets a turn for say 6 months to run their campaign, and it's one way to distinguish your campaign from another person's by putting those little touches in there that make the character go, oh, this is cool, or oh, that's funny, or oh, that's that gives me the creeps, or this, that, and the other thing. And that's the way you do make the game yours. That's my thought. I remember now. It may take more work, but it's easier to make a game yours when you're starting from scratch yourself than it is to adapt another campaign world, even though there are those as open as like Forgotten Realms.
Here's a good example. The Arthur legend. Legend of King Arthur. Everybody knows about Arthur and Lancelot and Marion and Camelot and all that
Sir Gawain, all that stuff.
Sir Gawain, all that stuff. Look at how John Borman handled it in Excalibur. Very straight, very bombastic, with big, with verilies and big noble characters and evil people. And they said, now look at what they did with Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Well, yeah.
That's the Arthur legend too, but it's turned on his ear.
And take a look at what they did with it
Everybody-
Once Upon a Time.
Yes.
Just close that arc as well.
That's true. In Holy Grail, they had all these annoying people who wouldn't shut up. Arthur was pretty ineffectual.
Yeah, and you think about Excalibur, and I'm sorry, every time. Never mind, I'm not going to mention it.
It had Helen
Yes,
Mirren.
yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, a young Helen Mirren. Helen Mirren was in her 30s.
Prime.
What?
Yeah, something like that.
Middle to late 30s, and she was a goddess. Yes. But anyway, moving right along. Just using, and like I said, it's easier to do it, to make the game yours when you're doing it from scratch, from your pad and paper or computer or whatever, and you're making your own campaign. I mean, as cliche as it is, I just started the bare bones of it. I'm going to make a campaign world based off of themes in rock and heavy metal songs. I've been thinking about that for at least the last 5 to 6 years, and I've just been too lazy to actually commit to it. But my whole thing is that, there's going to be all kinds of different things in there. There's going to be, all you have to do is look at the cover of a couple of different Iron Maiden albums and just the artwork of Derek Riggs and how busy it is and how thematic it is. And you can just get inspired that way. Listen to Black Sabbath with Dio in it, when, Ozzy was out of the band. And they did songs like Neon Nights and things like that. And, Dio in general, who always hewed to the magical, mystical side of things in his lyrics. And
Or try and track down a copy of Rock and Rule.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good one. Very, very good one. Watch or listen to a lot of Death Clock.
Death Clock is hilarious.
What was that? Bakshi, Fire and Ice?
I mean,
another good one.
Very heavy metal for that matter.
Heavy Metal, the movie. Heavy Metal, the magazine.
Magazine. Epic, the magazine.
Yep. And there are plenty of places for inspiration that you can take a concept and.
I just got like 3 issues. I got 3 Conan books and 3 issues of the Savage Sword of Conan, or the Marvel Conan.
Oh yeah, I saw that picture on Facebook.
Yeah, that's that's very. That's actually that inspired Tunnels and Trolls.
I mean,
that's.
Wendy and Richard Penny took their own thing and did ElfQuest.
Yeah, ElfQuest. ElfQuest is interesting. But you want to know what? That game is so dependent on who the DM, who the game master is, because it can go one way, it can go another way, and things like that.
That's the kind of stuff that I look at. That's the kind of stuff that appeals to touchy-feely elf people.
Yeah, well, I have friends who are really into ElfQuest. I mean, they're not like obsessed with it. I've seen people who are obsessed with ElfQuest. It's kind of not pretty.
Scary. Scary.
A little bit. But yeah,
I'm starting to get that feeling from Mouse Guard.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to play this. I'll play After the Bomb or something.
Exactly. Yeah, just bust out some TMNT.
Bust out some post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, for sure. But there are plenty of places, as we've always said, there are plenty of places for inspiration. It's just taking what you're watching or what you're listening to or what you're reading and putting your own little twist on it. And most people won't notice if you do it right.
That's right.
Make that game yours. It takes a little thought.
Do it.
But you can do it.
And we would sure find out. We sure like to hear from you how you did that and how's it going at thacoshammer@gmail.com or
405-806-0555.
And we come to the close of another Splat.
Yes, we do.
That's 121 to bed. And the way my voice sounds, I should probably get into bed.
Yeah.
Oh, Dayquil, take me away. Say goodbye, full on.
Goodbye, Gamer Nation. You gotta know it, you gotta own it, and then you've gotta make someone play it.
Run it into the ground. No, don't. Hey, Brian, say bye.
Later, folks. And what Full On said, ditto. He couldn't have said it better.
I guess he could. And I'm GM Glenn, just trying to figure out how the heck to run my world. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer. Bye-bye.
Wow, that was loud.
Oh.
The world?
I know it's new, Mike.
Me round, round, like a record.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.